webinar of freezing of pen of designated person under PIT regulation. Friends, as you are aware that in the presentation you have seen that this is our 142nd webinar. Since last 3 years, we are continuously organizing webinar on different topics, focusing more on corporate law and securities law. So this is our 102nd webinar, and we are covering only those topics which are relevant to the corporate world and where the new law is there and there are some teething problem and something, some issues are there. So we are trying to resolve these things. So today's webinar is on this freezing of pen of designated person. The Securities Exchange Board of India has provided a framework for restricting trading by designated person at a security level during the trading window closure through circular dated August 5th, 2022. It has come first time, and then July 19, 2023. These circular also outline the timeline for the phased implementation of the said framework. The NSE and BSE have issued their own circular in alignment with the SEBI directives. The primary objective of these circular is to enhance the ease of doing business and prevent unintentional non-compliance with the provision of the PIT regulation by a designated person. This is intended to uphold market integrity and make the business ease, and unintentional issues can be settled down. We are hosting this webinar to address the practical challenges that listed entities may encounter while implementing and adhering to the aforementioned circular. Senior officials from SEBI, Stock Exchange and Depository will provide insight about this particular law. I extend a very hearty welcome to all our participants as well as our speakers for today's program. We have requested Sundarshan sir to become the chief guest, and because he's traveling and he has a surveillance meeting, so he is at the airport. So he has informed that if time permits, he'll come for 5 minutes, but because of his flight at 4:50, so it looks a little difficult. So in his absence, we thank him for giving this framework and suggested that how we can take the maximum issues from the public so the SEBI can ratify and modify it. And the message of this law, why they have brought out, it should be communicated properly to the corporate world. So second, I welcome Ananya Das, Kumar Das, is Chief General Manager, SEBI. He has more than 25 years experience. He has joined SEBI in 1999 and has worked in many areas in SEBI, including integrated surveillance department, corporate finance, collective investment scheme. He has also been associated with formulating various policies in the area of takeover, buyback, and delisting and public issue of the companies. I welcome you, Mr. Ananya Kumar Das, for today's webinar. And we hope that your wide experience and issues pertaining to this thing will get the clear picture to the corporate world, and it will be helpful for them to comply. Welcome, sir. Then we have Mr. A. Vijayan, a Deputy General Manager, SEBI, and working in the Integrated Surveillance Department in Division of Policy. He has been with the SEBI for more than 16 years and worked in Investor Assistance and Education Department and Investigation Department. I welcome Mr. Vijayan, and you and Mr. Das will give us the clear picture, the purpose of bringing out this, that what was the need. So welcome for this program. We have from the Stock Exchange, Mr. Gopal Krishna Iyer. He is a Chief General Manager in Listing Compliance in BSE. He has been the BSE for last 24 years and having expertise in listing, broker supervision, members compliance, investor service, monitoring of compliance by listed companies, IPO and delisting process, and investor complaints issued against companies and broker. I welcome Mr. Gopal Krishna. He is also in surveillance committee meeting and he'll join shortly. Then we have Mr. Avishkar Nayak. He is a vice president in listing NSE National Stock Exchange. He has been working in NSE for the last 18 years and has headed various departments such as investigation, surveillance, clearing corporation, technology and listing. He has been awarded CA Professional Achiever Award by ICAI. So I welcome Avishkar for this, and your knowledge will definitely help professional, and they will understand the purpose and how the stock exchange will treat this particular law. So I welcome both the person from BSE and NSE for this program. Then we have requested the NSDL and CDS because they are the key point for managing this particular thing. So we have requested Mr. Rakesh Dalvi, who is a senior manager, operations, CDSL, and having more than 23 years experience in capital market, including working with depository, DP and RTA. So I welcome Mr. Rakesh for this program. Then we have Mr. Akshat Jain, Assistant Manager, Surveillance Department, NSDL, and focusing on regulatory compliances, investigation, and insider trading norms. He has over 3 years of experience in the banking and financial services industry, including capital market industry. I welcome Akshat and Rakesh from CDSL and Akshat from NSDL. Both will help us, that they will tell us how this implementation will take place. So the corporate should be very clear and it can go smooth. Then I welcome Mohini Vashne. He is a partner head, corporate professional in ESOP and Insider Law Service. I welcome Mohini. So friends, these are our panel of speakers, those who are from the every place, regulator, stock exchange, and the depository. So today, when we talk, these 3 agencies are one is the policy maker. They have given this idea, CDSL will implement, and NSDL will observe. So today, when we all will see this, that what are the issues in this, how this law has come, what is the need, how this thing can be solved. So we will discuss everything. So first, the program structure is like this. First, Mohini will give you the brief presentation of the circular and how this will move. Then I will request Team SEBI. They will tell us the rationale or intention of SEBI behind this pen freeze. What are the objectives of SEBI behind this? And what are the challenges SEBI is facing prior to such pen freezing circular? Why they have brought out? Another initiative or step that can be brought out with the pen freezing circular after that. And what are the issues they are facing, that they are receiving various queries from the corporate world, so they can address these issues. Then I will request the CDSL and NSDL team. They will tell us the insight into the practical implementation of pen freeze, because they are the implementing agency. Challenges that they are faced by the designated depository in the implementation of pen freeze circular, and what can be the other initiative that can be brought into the future to curb insider trading during trading window closure. They will tell us in their presentation. Then the stock exchange team will discuss about the role of exchange in pen freeze circular, rationale behind the phase-wise implementation of the pen circular, and other issues which they are receiving from corporate world. So the whole lot of things are there, and we want to discuss every issues connected to this circular. So now I will request Mohini Vashne to please give a presentation, and I will request all the participants that we have received your questions, more than 20 questions, but whatever questions are coming in your mind, please write to us in the Q&A box, and we will give the answer. We will ask the respective person, and then we'll move on. Over to you, Mohini. You can show your presentation about this.
Thank you, and good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to discuss the circular which came last year in August 2022 itself, with respect to the freezing of PAN by the designated persons by the depositories itself. So this circular came in 2022, but in the phased manner it will be implemented, and In the presentation, we now see that from 2024, almost all companies will be covered under this automatic freezing of the PAN. So the concept behind this automatic freezing of PAN is that what exactly in this circular is that it is for the system where the trading of the designated persons are automatically be restricted under the predefined circumstances for a predefined period without any need of manual intervention or discretion. So what earlier, if this circular is not there, till the date the companies, how they are be doing it, that there is no automatic freezing of PAN, and the companies, the compliance officers are sending mails to all the designated persons that their trading window is closed. That means they can't trade from this date to this date. So this is the information which is being sent, and all the designated persons are adhering this mail and they are complying with this particular direction of the compliance officer and their own. So if the people are, so many of the times the designated persons also have to inform to their relatives, to their other connected persons also about this this trading window closure. So the present system is the self-governance by the designated persons. But because it has led to many other things and many compliances, non-compliances as well. So to avoid that, this automatic freezing now is that the designated persons PAN will be freezed by the NSDL and CDS. So what is the rationale behind this PAN free circular is that it is to enhance the ease of doing business, definitely, and then the unintentional non-compliances can be prevented, because many a times it has been seen in the case laws as well that the person, the DP, are not aware of that the trading window is closed, because might be the compliance officer has not informed, or they have overlooked that mail which the compliance officer has sent. So it helps them in that unintentional non-compliances can be avoided. Then it also, because the PAN of the designated persons are being freezed, so it increases the confidence in the market that the insiders not being able to trade if they have any kind of information which is of UPSI nature. Then it definitely reduces the compliance burden on the compliance officer, because otherwise the compliance officer has to tally the trading of the designated persons by the BENPOS. And now if the trading is per se freezed and at the PAN level itself, so it cannot be traded. So the compliance burden of the compliance officer to track out who has traded or not, that is reduced. Also, definitely it helps to maintain the integrity of the financial market, because it creates the fairness among all the participants. So why this? So before I come to that, why what in this circular is there? So to have that rationale of this circular, first I want to discuss only the two small cases which shows that why this circular is important and why it become a good thing for all the corporates, all the compliance officers, and all the DP as well, that their trading is freezed at the PAN level. So here in the matter of Kushal Trade Link, there are four persons are being there who have traded during the trading window closure period. And in this case, we can see that almost two notices have incurred a loss, and one noticee has only earned a profit of 348 rupees. So here, and because they have traded during the trading window closure period, still after being in a loss, they have been imposed a penalty of 2 lakh and 1 lakh. So that means it's a kind of a error which they have done inadvertently. So if this circular is in force now and the trading is freezed at the PAN level, so these kinds of trading activity by the designated persons can't be done, and the designated person itself be saved from this. Second, in the next case, like in NDTV and Ad Labs, if we see, so here the person has taken a due care and they have not traded during the trading window closure period, but they are of the opinion that the trading window is open immediately once the information became public. They have traded after that, but they are not aware of that the trading is closed for a period for a 48 hours after the information becomes a public. Like in the financial results, it opens after the 48 hours of the results declaration. So they have traded immediately after that. So it's a 2 days prior they have traded. So here also it's kind of that, because they have not traded for the entire period, but for trading in that particular 1 day or 2 day, they have been imposed a penalty. So if these two cases, if we take, so here, if the PAN is freezed, so they are not being able to, and these kinds of cases definitely be avoided at all. Now, this circular, so now come back to this circular after this, that how this circular is now being implemented. So SEBI has come out with this circular in 2022, wherein they have restricted that the companies which are in the list of Sensex and the Nifty 50, the designated persons of these companies, the PAN number of these companies designated persons will be freezed by the depositories at the time of declaration of financial results. So on a quarterly basis, because it's a defined quarters, and at these times, all the designated persons are not supposed to trade, because the trading window is closed for all the designated persons. For these declaration of financial results, this process is being declared as an automated process for freezing of PAN. So first in the 2022, the Sensex and Nifty 50 companies are covered, and still they are continuingly covered. Because after that, all companies need to be covered under this bracket. So in July 19 in 2023, again a timeline has been came out by the SEBI and NSE BSE circular, which is like this, that from October 1st, 2023, top 1,000 companies as per the BSE market capitalization get covered. So the PAN number of these companies DP will be covered now. Then in the 2024 January, next 1,000 companies, and the remaining one will be covered from April 2024. And the companies which get listed after 2024, then for all the companies, they have to, for the first quarter they will not be, but from the next quarter, the PAN of their designated person also get freezed. So this is the circular in which manner this all the slowly and gradually all the designated persons of the listed companies PAN get freezed. So if we come out with the circular applicability, so it specifically says that the securities covered under this circular are equity shares, equity derivative contracts, that means F&Os, the companies which have the F&O trading. Then BSE and NSE also have mentioned that all the securities convertible into equity shares will also be covered. The transactions which will be covered by this PAN freezing is all on-market transaction, off-market transfers, and the creation of pledge. The process I'm covering only in a very brief. The detailed process will be shown by the NSDL and CDSL, that how they will be doing it. So here the process flow is that the designated depositories, that means either the NSDL and CDSL, which every listed company as per the system driven disclosure has to appoint, the designated depository will will have those PAN numbers, and that will be auto populated in that portal from where the this trading window for the PAN freezing will be done. So at that portal, the listed companies have to confirm that yes, the PAN numbers are correct. They have to select the ISN, and they have to select the start and end date only. And the time period for this confirmation of all the PANs of the DP is T-2. T means the trading window closes starting date. So the listed companies have to confirm by T-2, and the depository will coordinate with the other depository and stock exchange in T-1 date. And after that, from the T date, the trading window starts. The PAN will be freezed from that very day. And if any change need to be made, again T-2, T-1, and T is to be followed. This is how the process is. But still, yes, it's a good initiative, and ease of doing, definitely the business, this ease of doing business initiative through this will be done. But there are still some challenges which I think that might be which the NSE, BSE or NSDL, CDSL is facing, and also the industry wants to have those answers. Like that if the company is not complying with the system-driven disclosure circular, that is the SDD circular, and they're not giving the PAN numbers of all the DP. And because if they are not giving, then they have to file the manually that Form C as per that circular. So if they are not doing that and they are still happy to comply this Form C manually, then how this detail of PAN of all the designated persons will be populated, and how this freezing of automatic freezing of PAN will be done. So that is the first challenge and the question also, that how it is to be. Because as per the code and the PIT regulations, DP self not to trade, and also their immediate relatives and the spouse are also not supposed to trade. And because they are also, because the DP is per se responsible for the trading of immediate relative and spouse. So because as per the SGD circular, also immediate relatives and spouse details are not being asked and not being populated there. So whether how the trading window closure is being implemented on those two immediate relatives and spouse. The another one is that there are firms, HUF and trust, wherein these designated persons are directly connected or have a significant influence. And in the connected person definition, also these three category of investors and three category of shareholders will come. So here also the designated person has to be take care of that the trading activity will not be done during the trading window closure period by these entities as well. So how these can be monitored, because if per se I as a designated person is not trading, then I can trade through firm, I can trade to my HUF where I being karta. So here itself the open ground is that yes, the trading still be there can be done, and because no automatic freezing is there, so either the compliance officer has to personally monitor again on this in the same manner as presently they be doing. So these are the few areas, gray areas, wherein still it's an unanswered, and I think it's just to be either the next step of the SEBI wherein these kinds of things can be taken up. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mohini, for giving the brief of this particular law. Now, as you are aware, that this particular law, SEBI is trying to do the law normally to manage the market manipulation or development. This is a development part. And here it is more focused on the ease of doing business. And I'm aware that by doing this, how much problem of compliance officer will be reduced if you say after 6 months when you will analyze it. Because today compliance officer has to talk to them, then they have to tell them they have the names, then they have to inform depository, and then they have to freeze this. So various things are taking place, various things was not taking place. And Mohini was giving example of two cases where 250 rupees profit, and then in one case only minor shares, but loss, and it was a loss. But SEBI follow that whether you have violated trading window closure, it means you have violated and the penalty will be there. But all these things actually taking away the time of the important role of SEBI also. And these petty matter, which is a violation of law, it is because you have to, when there's a violation, you have to follow the complete natural justice process. It involved too much time. Now, by doing this, so now I will over to you, Mr. Anand Kumar Das and Vijayan sir. The rationale for this SEBI behind this pen-free circular, and what is the objective we will achieve this, and what challenges you are facing, and what are the initiative after this you will do. Over to you, Anand.
Good afternoon to all, and thanks a lot to Mr. Pavan Vijay and his team in corporate professionals to organize this webinar. I'll give a little background about the circular. I'll also thank Ms. Mohini for giving such a good presentation, and she has brought out very good case studies. So in addition to that, even the code of conduct also mandates that in case of any violation, there will be some sanction and a penalty, which company will collect and later on transfer it to IPF or SEBI. So in 2019, July, SEBI has prescribed a standard format for reporting violations of code of conduct. And after certain time, we have analyzed the data and we have found that there were a lot of minor or technical violation of CO's code of conduct which were reported, like trades carried out by portfolio manager in non-discretionary account without the knowledge of the designated person, inadvertent trade uh, uh, by the broker without the knowledge of designated person, and there are some certain violations by the designated persons involving very insignificant amount, like Mohini has shown that only profit of 250 rupees have been made. So looking at all this, and then it was realized that these are very small minor compliances where even for taking action also SEBI has to incur a lot of cost, and it is burden to the regulatory cost also. So SEBI, even in the case of disclosures which are periodic in nature, which comes under Regulation 7.2, has seen that such minor violations like 1 day delay in making a disclosure. So SEBI decided to use technology to take care of this violation. So implemented system-driven disclosure to prevent inadvertent and non-compliances and reduce compliance cost with regard to requirement of periodic disclosures. In similar manner, to simplify and rationalize the compliance requirement regarding trading by DPs, and also to prevent inadvertent non-compliance of provisions of PIT regulations, SEBI in 2022 laid down the framework for developing a system to restrict trading by designated persons by freezing the PAN of a designated person at a security level during trading window closure. So initially, to begin with, it was implemented for index stocks in August 2022, and since then 4 quarters have passed, and we have seen that at least index the companies which constitute index Sensex and Nifty 50 has successfully implemented. Looking at the implementation of these, so SEBI has now decided to implement for the remaining companies in a phased manner. See, this is going to help in ease of business as well as the reduction of the regulatory cost. So next I'll give it to Vijayan and he'll speak about.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thanks, Team Corporate Professional for arranging this session and asking us to talk on this topic. As already introduced, the topic of this session is on the circular on freezing PAN of designated persons and under PIT regulations. I don't know. My situation is a bit awkward that I have to already. I have to again repeat on what has already been explained clearly. Ms. Mohini has already made a detailed presentation what the circular is and how it's going to be implemented. But still, I'll try to give a background of why we had come up with this circular and what were the challenges which we were facing at that time, which made us come out with this circular. As already mentioned, this circular had two parts. It was initially introduced in August 2022, the main circular where the initial framework was put in place, freezing the pan of DPs at security level. And then the July circular, it had extended it to the all listed companies. So earlier that was the July August 22 circular was it had two components or so there are two stages. It was for freezing the pan or at only financial results declaration, and it was applicable for only for those companies which are for part of the Sensex and Nifty companies. The current circular which was issued in 23, it extended this circular to all the companies, but not at the same time, but it will be done at a phased manner. That was the two circulars which is about. How it is going to be implemented, what are the steps to be taken, that I believe that we have speakers from depositories as well as stock exchanges. They'll explain in detail what is the framework, how is the system, how you need to log into the system, what are the details that you need to enter into the system, and what would be the difficulties if you face any, how it should be resolved. We have speakers from depositories and exchanges who will be explaining you in detail about the intricacies of this system. Now, coming to the background of this framework, as you already might be aware that FIT regulations, it provides that there should be a trading window, and the deposit DPs, they should trade only during this trading window, and when the trading window is closed, they shall not trade during that period. But earlier it was a manual process wherein all these things had to be monitored manually, and there since with every manual systems, it had its own drawbacks and all. So there are not, whether by what you can say unintentional was that is the intention, or with intention or unintentional, if there is any error in entering the or providing this information, disclosing this information, then that would naturally result into a violation. So for these violations, if these have been come to our notice, then the result is that you have to take action. So there were so many cases on which for such disclosure violations, you might have to take action. So it was thought that why can't this be automated? Because the current trend is that everything we are going for, as Anindya sir had said, that you are using technology. You have to use technology. Why can't we use technology so that the systems could be automated? And the other thing is that ease of doing business. We are more concentrated on ease of doing business. So these two terms put together to make the compliance burden lessen for the compliance officers. So this is the broad background with which we worked out, and the initial circulars on SDD and the further this freezing of PAN in a phased manner, it came about. So the rationales being one is to improve the ease of doing business, another one to avoid all this or prevent this inadvertent non-compliances. So that is the way with which these things were put in.
Okay.
So that you don't need to every time to manually give this thing. So there is a system in which you enter the PAN of the DPs, and accordingly this will be automatically frozen during the trading window closure period. The time of the trading window closure will be entered by the compliance officers. So accordingly, it will be automatically frozen. So when coming to the circular details about the circulars, it had, as I already explained, it has two parts. Initially, it was currently this circular, it will be applicable only for declaration of financial results. The other events that we have not taken up. The first thing as of now, it has been taken up for a declaration trading window closure for the purpose of financial results. And the second thing is that we started with companies under the benchmark indices, Sensex as well as Nifty. Now we have extended it to all the companies. The 2023 circular, It says that how it will be implemented will be that for the Nifty and Sensex companies, it has already been made applicable. So for the phased manner, we will be taking up 1,000 companies, top 1,000 companies. This will be applicable from October 1st. How this 1,000 companies have been arrived at? It's based on the market capitalization as on June 30. So first, initially, it will be applicable for the top 1,000 companies, except those 50 odd companies and which have already been implemented for Nifty and Sensex. The rest 1,000 companies, and then the remaining next 1,000 companies, it will be applicable from January to 2024. And for the other companies which are in the remaining list, it will be from April 1st, 2024. And any company which gets listed during this period, which has not been considered for market capitalization as on June 30, any company which has been listed or which comes into listing subsequently to this, that it will, the circular, it will be applicable from the first day of the second quarter, the quarter in which it gets listed. The other quarter you will leave out, and the second quarter. From then, this circular gets implemented. Illustration of how you calculate this, it's already given in the circular. Anybody can refer to that. And how this has to be implemented, what is the procedure, what are the detailed flow charts of various activities to be taken in this is part of the circular. You can go through the circular, and if any doubts are there, you can always reach out to the exchanges or depositories. So it's a request to the compliance officer that you just follow the process and the procedures which will be explained by depositories and the exchange officials, or how to go about this process. And not just issuing the circulars, we have tried to familiarize the compliance officials about how to go about this process by conducting sessions on this topic. Already we had conducted 2 sessions through exchange and depositories. This exercise is also one of the ways in which we wanted to familiarize the compliance officers about this process. And we have one more session scheduled for by end of this month through depositories and exchanges also. Those who have missed out on these 3 occasions, they can join on the next occasion. That will be on 30th, I believe, 30th or 31st. And that session also they can familiarize with this. So as our ED used to say, this is an exercise which is to familiarize with the compliance officers about how to go about it, not just issuing circulars, but you have to make them familiarize with this process. And currently, as I have already said, this circular is for an event which is on declaration of the financial results. How to go about with the other events and all, whether this will be extended or when it will be extended to the other events, that will be taken up in due course. So this is the background and intention, or what are the problems that we faced to come out with this circular. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Vijayan, and thank you, Mr. Das, to give the background and the purpose and why you want to brought out this particular law and what is the implementation plan. Okay. We have so many questions to you. Some of the questions you have given answer in your presentation, but some few questions are coming that we ask. Now, SEBI has made this law, but the implementation part is the responsibility of the depository. So we have CDSL and NSDL with us, and Mr. Rakesh Dalvi and Akshat Jain is here, and both will give a presentation that how this will implement, because no doubt this is possible because of the technological upgradation. And today, by the help of technology, you are in a position to dare this type of plan and this type of regulation and circular And the most important thing is how the technology will come into this. But simultaneously, the corporate and the stock exchange will also match with this. So over to you, Rakesh and Akshit. You please give us and suggest us the insight into the practical implementation of this PAN freezing circular, challenges that being faced by the designated depository in implementation this, and what can be the other initiative that can brought into the future to curb insider trading and when the window closer is there through your. Over to you, Rakesh and Akshay.
I think Akshat, you can share the presentation.
Yes. I'll be sharing the presentation.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Pawan, and thank you, corporate professionals, for hosting this event and all the participants who have joined in. So we, both the depositories, NSDL and CDSL, have prepared a presentation about the working of the portals that we have respectively made. So I'll be currently sharing that. So just please let me know if the screen is visible or not.
Yeah, it's visible. Just
Yeah.
go to the slideshow mode.
Okay, thank you so much. So, as you all have been made aware by Mr. Pawan and their team, as well as SEBI professionals, about the recent SEBI circular. So the portal that the depositories had made was previously available to the index companies in Sensex and Nifty 50. And now it has been made available to the next 1,000 companies as per the glide path given by the SEBI on their circular dated July 19, 2023. So I will run you through the portals that are offered by both of the depositories. Mr. Rakesh Dalvi from CDSL will run you through the portal that has been made by CDSL, and I will run you through the portal that has been made by NSDL. So these are the proposed set of activities, as you can see in the screen, that is common for both the depositories. So the portal will be made available every quarter for the set of companies that are to whom this circular has been made eligible.
Akshay,
And
can you go to slideshow mode? Because
it
all,
is, hello, is it available? Can you view this on slideshow?
you-
No, Akshat, not yet.
go this far side on the top.
Is it now showing in the slideshow?
No, it's the same way. But if it is not possible, then you go ahead with this. Otherwise, try to do this slideshow. This will be better. So only one screen will be this.
I'll again share it. Just a minute.
Slide share has come. Only thing is, it is not in slideshow mode. All the otherwise you carry on. No problem.
Just a minute. I just tried once more.
This this click you and then from beginning.
Now,
It's still not coming, but I think Akshat, you can carry on with the present mode.
okay, so I'll zoom in a little. If it's not visible, then
It will be better if you zoom.
No, Zoom it is. You just go ahead with the, this is okay. You go ahead.
okay. So the proposed set of activities which are common for both the depositories is like this is a window that will be available every quarter for the companies basis the glide path that is there. And only the equity ISINs are considered, considering the requirement that has been given by SEBI in the circular. So how the brief works out is like every compliance officer of the issuing company has been given a login. So they will put in the details of the designated persons in the STD database of the respective depositories. And then the data will accordingly flow to the trading window closure tab for those designated persons that have been defined by the compliance officer of the respective companies. And identification will be done basis the PAN that has been given by each of the designated to the designated depository by the issuing companies, and then a restriction will be placed. The ISIN restriction will be placed for those particular issuing companies or for their designated persons. So to run you through the next slide. So every listed company will have to appoint either of the depository as their designated depository. A facility of trading window closure will be made available it is already made available for the index companies who have been with us since September 2022. For the next 1,000 companies, basis the glide path that has been shared by SEBI, it will be made available by September 2023 for the October quarter. And for all the existing user login IDs will only be used for that purpose. So just a moment. Yeah. So now for all the companies that have appointed NSDL as their designated depository, the portal that is made available is the Issuer Services portal. So this is what the page looks like. I will be running you through each and every tabs and slides that are there in this particular portal for the purpose of trading window closure. So this is what the login looks like. The username will be provided to the compliance officer. You can have more than one logins basis the declaration that will be given by the company. And this will be an OTP based login. So authentication is required over here. So
I think Akshit, slide is not moving. Your first slide is coming. So second slide is coming on. Yeah. So please, yes. Now it is come. It is there. System-driven disclosure. So you start with this third slide, a fourth slide.
okay.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, please tell.
So this is what the portal looks like. It is called the Issuer Services portal that is offered by NSDL. And this is all the compliance officer of the issuing company will be provided a login over here. And you can have more than one logins basis the declaration given by the issuing company. And this is an authentication based login. So user will have to authenticate it through an OTP. So the compliance officer of that respective company will get a login based on their OTPs that are provided. And moving on to the next screen, this is what the home page looks like. Please let me know if it's visible.
Yeah, Akshat, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is what the home page looks like. So the user will have to go to the company profile tab, and then there will be two tabs that are available. That is the system driven disclosure tab and the trading window closure tab. So to give you a brief on the system driven disclosure tab, so over here, it is basically a directory of all the designated person that the issuing company mentions. So it will be like a repository for all the designated persons that the compliance officer of the company comes and adds and or deletes accordingly. And moving on, the data will flow from the system driven disclosure tab to the trading window closure tab. That is the next tab. Over there, we have various options. That is define update trading window closure period, view details of the designated person considered for trading window closure period. I will be explaining you all these in detail in the next tab. So we then go to the define and update trading window closure tab. So over here, two of the fields will be auto-populated. That is the issuer code and issuer name. So as soon as the compliance officer of the issuing company logs in, the and the issuer name and all the designated persons related to that particular issuing company will auto-populate over here. And basis that he or she will have to just define the quarter for which this activity has to be done. And the commencement date over here will always be fixed as the first date of the quarter as prescribed by SEBI in the circular. And the end date over here will be modifiable. End date is something which they can prepone as well. And then they have to submit it. And if they want to modify their end date, they can modify it. But they cannot modify their start date. Moving on to the next tab, we have view, modify, define trading window closure period for designated person. So over here, you will be made available with the facilities to provide exemption to the designated persons if you want to provide exemption for any of the reasons as may be prescribed in the SEBI circular. you can provide an exemption during the trading window closure period. And for example, if a person leaves during the trading window closure period, so you have to delete that particular person from the trading window closure tab as well. So these all requests firstly requires a reason as to why the particular action is being taken place, either the deletion or either the exemption. And all the requests will be sanctioned only on T+2 basis only. So this is what the screen looks like. So over there, then it's the subsequent part to it. So this is the exemption facility. I believe it might not be visible properly, so I will just zoom in. Yeah. So over here, you have to click on the defined trading window exemption period. So there the exemption start date will start. You have to define the start date as well as the end date for the exemption, and accordingly also provide the reason. So as you can see, there is something mentioned in the red text, that is unfreeze will be effected on T+2 days basis only. So all the request has to be initiated on T+2 basis only. So this is what the exemption facility looks like, and then you have to submit the data. And then on the right, we have the deletion part. So you have two options basically. If you want to remove, so you have to click on the remove button. And if you want to provide exemption, you have to click on the exemption button. So for unfreeze also, there is the same logic that is there. The commencement date will be provided. From when do you want to provide that exemption? And this will already, the start date will already be fixed, but the end date, that is the revised trading window end date, that is the date from which that particular person ceases to exist for that particular company, will have to be defined here. So this will be modifiable, but the trading window commencement date will not be modifiable, and accordingly they also have to provide the reason for the same. So this is what the modification tab looks like for exemption as well as deletion. And then finally, we have the master data, that is the viewed details of designated persons considered for trading window closure. So over here, you will get all the details of the designated person of the issuing company that has been made available by the compliance officer of that company, for whom the trading window closure tab will be, for whom the trading window closure restriction is applicable. So over here, the issuer code and the issuer name is fixed. And then he just has to choose the quarter for which he's looking out for the details. And then accordingly, he can download it in PDF format or the XCSV format, as the case may be. So this is what is the system that is offered by NSDL. Now I would like Mr. Rakesh Dalvi from CDSL to take over for the purpose of CDSL portal.
Yeah. Thank you, Akshat. I can share my screen.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's visible.
Hope my screen is visible and my voice is also audible
Yeah.
to everyone clearly.
Only you can you try to slideshow mode?
Yeah, sure. Okay. Hope now
Yes,
it's
it's
slideshow
okay.
mode. Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rakesh Devi. I'm from CDSL. First of all, I would like to thank the corporate professional and SEBI also for giving us this opportunity. Okay. I think the corporate professional, this Mohini madam, has already explained about the detailed process, and also it has been explained in detail by the Mr. Vijayan from the SEBI. Okay. So we'll just talk about the system, how the system actually works. My colleague NSDL from NSDL, they have already explained you about the system. Okay, how their system works for this person with this SEBI circular. The more or less process is same across the both the repository. Only there may be a slight difference about the system. So that I will going to explain in your next slide. Okay, so we'll just move ahead. Same as NSL, we CDSL also have their own issuer center portal. Okay, the issuers are already connected with CDSL issue center portal for many other activities like FM or any e-voting schedule updation. So most of the listed companies are not most, almost all listed companies are already connected with the CDSL and not with even with the NSL also. They're already having their own login credential with them. So they need to use their existing login credential to access this PIT module also. Okay, so this is our login screen where the issuers can use their existing login ID password and they can just log into the system. Okay. Once the login, they will able to find the many options. Whereas one of the options is PIT. First option you can see there is a PIT options. Under that, issuers can update their details related to the PIT. Currently, the existing process is already familiar with all the companies, where as per the existing process, all companies have already updated their PAN details on the SGD system. As per percent to the SEBI circular, the company needs to appoint any one of the designated depository. Okay, so company those who are already designated CDSL as a designated depository, they have already updated their PAN. They don't need to update that PAN details again. I think that was the question somewhere in the chat. So no need to update that PAN details again in the system. Whatever PAN details are already updated on the system, that same PAN details will be used for the purpose of freezing. Yes, but definitely if any addition, deletion, modification is there, that on the regular basis, daily basis, we'll recommend that daily basis has to be updated on the system, because this SGD activity is a daily basis activity. Daily basis, the data is shared with the respective exchanges and the other depository. So we just recommend that the whatever the deletion modification has to be done has to be effect in the same day. Okay, so this is the option where the companies they can update the PAN details. If you have any modifications, so there is an option in CDSL through upload module also they can just update the details. The upload sample file for the upload is also available on the system itself. We can just download that file, and the file can be prepared and it can be uploaded on the system. Automatically, the updation, addition, deletion can be taken place. Okay. Other than upload, there is also online option available in the system, whereas one by one entry can be done for adding the PAN details. So this is the actually existing process which many of the companies are already doing it actually. So that don't need to do it again. So if any modification is there, definitely they have to do it on the regular basis. Now we'll next move to the trading window period pursuant to this circular dated 19 July 23. So as I explained, whatever PANs already updated, it will be automatic and submit it. As soon as they submit it, the all PANs for that particular start date, end date will get freezed automatically in the depository system. The system actually works, the basis, whatever PAN submitted by the issuers on the PAN basis, system automatically identifies the demat accounts, and at even at the first holder and joint level also, and it freezes at the demat account level for that particular security. And that has been done automatically by the system. Just company needs to update the PAN details correctly, and whatever start date, ending freeze date is there, that they need to update in the system regular basis. Okay. Yes, definitely. Once the freezing is done, there is also option for the users. They can put the exemption if any, but that exemption should be as per the regulatory reasons. But yes, there is an option available on the depository system. During the window period, if any exemption is there, which is decided by the compliance officer, they can put up the exemption request up in the system, and system can accordingly, take care about the exemption. So whatever exemption start date, end date is given by the user in the system on particular start date, end date, system will unfreeze the accounts. There is a detailed inquiry available in the system. Whatever action is executed by the user in the system, the freezing, unfreezing, the detailed inquiry is available in the system, whereas the status is also available. The users can able to monitor their status, whatever the freezing is done or not. If any exemption is put up in the system, the exemption is done or not, that can be tracked through this detailed inquiry module. There are a few important pointers actually that has to be taken care by the issuers. Okay. So first of all, as I explained, the freezing will be taken place at security level at event base. Okay. Then there will be a window closing period for the account holder. The issue is to ensure that that whatever freezing dates, start date, end date they have given, that has to become 2 days prior to their T-day. I think that madam has already explained you that. For example, your freezing starting from 1st October. Okay. So your request should come on, at least latest by 30th. Okay. So 2 days prior request has to come. That validation is there in the system. So you just have to take care that to avoid the non-compliance, to get the freezing done as per the start date. The request has to come 2 days prior to the T-day, because within a depository also we require to do an activity. For example, if request comes today, then next day it is shared with the respective other depository and also exchanges. That's why the request should come to the depository T-2. Yes, that I will explain. If any deletion updation has to be done on immediate basis, because as I explained, immediately the data is shared on the next day to the respective exchanges and depository. If any addition deletion is not done, then that cannot be taken care by the system. So we just issue is to ensure that it has to be done immediate basis on the system. And that, as explained, depository will freeze the PANs at security level for the particular security that ISIN will get freezed in the particular demat account. Yes, he can trade with the other ISIN which are not freeze, but yes, that particular ISIN will get freeze for which the particular demat holder cannot be trade in the security. Yes, freezing will be done at sole and joint holder level, wherever the joint holder is also there for the particular PAN. That particular account will also get freezed in the depository system. Okay, these are the our one point contact for the depository, NSDL. These are the contact details which can be shared with separately also. Okay, these are the CDSL contact details. We have a dedicated email ID sgd@cdsc.com, where if any queries, any issues, or any problems, the companies can send a mail to us, or they can just call to us for any doubts regarding the circular of any queries.
Okay. Thank you, Rakesh. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it from repository.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm just worried on one part, that how first time I have to feed this information or every time I have to do?
No, sir, this trading PAN, whatever PANs they have updated, it is a one-time process. If any addition, deletion is there, yes, they definitely have to come out of the system and they have to immediately update the details, addition, if any deletion is there. That has to be done on immediate basis, and system will take care of that on the next day. Whenever
are you maintaining any audit trail? Suppose I am removing somebody's name.
Yes. Logs are maintained at depository level, whatever addition, deletion, modification is done. And even we are sharing the data to the respective exchanges and other depository also with that particular flag. If any addition is there, modification is there, accordingly that flag is maintained and it is passed on to the respective exchanges and depositories. That is maintained with the depository.
Okay.
Even for a trading window, putting trading window period also, the audit trail is maintained. The user level audit is also maintained, by which particular user this particular data is updated in the system. Okay. So that is maintained with this.
Okay.
I have one question to CDSL, that like in NSDL, you can't change the from date. So, but in your case,
yes. Process is same with the across depository. You cannot change the start date. Yes, but end date is modifiable. The user can modify the end date, but it has to be done at T-2 logic level. And T-2 logic is applicable everywhere, even for freezing also, unfreezing also, and even for modification also.
And in your CDSL system, the DP list is not populated from SGD. We have to upload it.
No, it will be automatically populated. As I explained on the screen, no, it is getting automatically populated.
But you have shown that we have to upload it. A list we have to upload it.
Now, most of the companies has already designated the depository. They have already updated their PANs, so it will be available automatically. Okay. Those who are not updated or they wish to do any modification changes, then they can do it in the system. But whatever has been uploaded already, They don't need to change it again or they need to upload it again. Okay, it will be automatically available over there.
Thank you.
Okay, okay. We will ask you questions, Rakesh, during the, because so many questions have come.
Yeah,
So we
yeah,
will
sure.
ask you. Okay. So now, so you have seen the role of regulator. They have made the law. Now they are the implementing agency. Now the important role is the monitoring by stock exchange. So now I'll request Gopal Krishnan Iyer and Avishkar that role of exchange in the pen freezing circular and rationale behind the phased manner implementation of pen freeze circular. So what is the point of view? So Gopalji and Avishkar, you both can take up. Gopalji, you can start and then Avishkar can join.
Yeah, so if you've already seen from the presentation that we only receive these files for blocking the trading of these designated persons in the trading system. So whatever files that we receive today will be applied on the trading system for tomorrow's trading, and the trading for those pans of DPs are prohibited. Now what we have done was initially we started off with Sensex and Nifty 50 companies so that we are very clear that the system is stabilized. And now that the system is stabilized, we've already had 4 quarters of implementation. Now we are implementing it on in a phased manner so that we have no glitches, because as the number of companies and the DPs increase, we don't want any glitches in the trading system when such a implementation is carried out, because companies may be few, but the number of DPs that get covered are going to be increasing manifold. So that's the reason why we are doing it in a graded manner with September, December, and March, and then full-fledged from April 1. So that's the reason.
Okay. Now Avishkar.
This is good evening, sir. So I'm just taking 2 minutes. I will just share a bit of other perspective also. So
Okay.
basically, if you are able to see my screen also, no?
Yes.
I've just shared one paper. Yeah.
How can insider trading be prevented?
Yes. So basically, if you look at PIT has always been the area of interest, be it locally or globally, and has been discussed at various points of time. So if say the question always asked is how can insider trading be prevented? And here all the 3 characters in this case, the regulator, exchanges, and corporates have an important role to play. In the sense, regulator, as a regulator, he has to come out with effective regulations. Exchanges have to do their work on surveillance, investigations. Corporates also have to do their work on strengthening the policy controls and all. And if all the 3 teams work together, then that is an area where we will be definitely able to clean our markets. If we look at how the PIT journey has been till now, so after this 1992 regulations were taken over by PIT regulations 2015. If we look at the data, there have been multiple amendments, 8 or more amendments, 11 circulars, then more than 6 guidance notes and all that. Then even ICSI has come out with secretarial standard boards. SEBI has come out with informant schemes. Then in the last 1 year, structured digital database has also been in place, and we had multiple seminars and discussions surrounding it and all that. So typically what if whenever a new circular comes, the first person to be hit is the compliance officer, because it's an additional burden on that particular compliance officer. But if we look at the last 2 circulars, one is on the system driven disclosures and second is trading block. I'm very much sure that all the compliance officers would have welcomed this particular thing, because this is a very, very good and effective step from the ease of doing business. Now, my colleagues from NSDL and CDSL have explained on how that entire process works. But if that's why I just took the slide is I wanted to put in some sort of a stats to it. On it's not that very simple when we just say that, okay, let the company give the PANs and the PANs will be blocked from the trading. You have to look at what is the stats and why that particular thing. So if we look at basis this July 23rd, 2020 circular, if we look at the data, as on today also on a quarterly basis, the exchange keeps on getting around 250 instances of violation, and the penalty is somewhere collected by the corporates is around 2 crores. When we go ahead and implement this system, look at the figures in the sense that is the amount of technology, or that is the amount of efforts the exchange will also have to put on it. So the total PANs blocked in the last quarter for the top 50 Nifty companies were 29,500. And when you talk about in number of trades on a given day on an exchange, the trades range from around 15 to 20 crore trades, and the order messages range from 1,000 crore to 1,300 crores. So it's not a small system which we are talking about. To implement such a thing, so when I say 29,000 crore or 1,300 crore order messages, it means there is an order entered, modified and cancelled. So at every point of time, you have to go and check whether that particular designated person has placed an order in that particular security or not. If that order has been placed, then block his order and cancel his order. So that's the amount of technology efforts is required in this particular system. So if the expectation at this after all this is that it's not an end from the corporate's end also. So regulator has done his work, the exchanges have also implemented it, depositories have also made that efforts, but the role of companies doesn't end here. Here they still have to continue their work on identifying all this UPSI, identifying all employees having access to the UPSI, maintaining an updated list of designated persons and structured digital database in a proper manner, and appropriate restrictions on communications of UPSI. This strong policy framework with respect to UPSI will also help us in a long way. The whole idea is to have a clean market, and that's the where all these efforts currently are going on. With this short thing, I've concluded and will be open for questions. Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Avishkar and Gopalji. You have given a different prospects of the stock exchange. Now we have received so many questions, around 45 questions are there. It means that there is some confusion and issues. So let me just go through like this. Mr. Vijayan and Mr. Das, you want to add anything, or I should go for question answer? Mr. Vijayan?
Yeah, you may go ahead with the question answers.
Okay. So I'm just, I have a two set of questions. One I have received in advance earlier, and one is just now. So we have sufficient time to cover up. So I will take up this. So first I'll cover the question which we have received earlier, and I have shared with the panelists also. So Moini, first question is designating one depository mandatory for listed company under these regulations. What is the procedure for designating depository? Our company falls under the regulation from September 2023.
To comply with the circular of system-driven disclosure, every company has to select one depository as a designated depository, wherein the company has to update the PAN numbers of their promoter group, and the designated persons. So one you have to choose, so that can be done, and also this helps in the complying with this PAN freezing.
Okay. Yeah, Rakesh, you want to add anything?
Yeah, just to add on to the madam's answer. Okay, as a depository CDSL, there is an option for the company to directly log into the system with their existing login credential and update directly the PAN data. As soon as they update the data, that will get automatically designated the CDSL depository. Or there is another option also. They can just give us one consent letter to the depository, then we can also, from our end also, we can mark them as a designated party. But the company has to ensure that it has to be marked at either only one deposit at one time only.
Okay. Okay, now some question relating to ESOP related queries have come. During trading window closure, if employee allotment is made under ESOP, are the shares credited to the employee's demat account, NSDL and CDSL, anybody can say?
Yes, that will be taken
Yes,
care
the same.
automatically by the both the depositories.
Okay. If the
The
company
shares will be during the in short during the trading window closure period, even though the account is freeze, the shares will be credited into the demat account.
okay.
So just would like to add over here one more thing. So most of the cases in case of ESOP, what we see is that they apply for exemption. So
Okay.
you need not apply for exemption for such cases, even goes for buyback as well. You should go through the corporate action part and then accordingly go through the ESOP or the buyback thing. You need not apply for exemption through respective depositories.
Okay. Ananya sir, and Mr. Vijayan, if you want to add anything, what people are saying, what the panelists are saying, you just interfere in between. And,
Yeah, sure.
And Avishkar and Gopalji, you also. So next question to again to NSDL related to ESOP. If a company has an ESOP scheme with trust route, how can share be credited from trust demat account to DPF demat account during trading window closure?
Yes, as I just said, it can be taken care through the corporate action. So they have to route it through that.
Okay. Now this question is to BSE and NSE. The management of departed designated person. If a designated person leaves the company and is removed from the depository list, how can trading restriction be enforced for them for the specified period?
So at this juncture, it is purely based on this all monitoring is based on the PAN which is being provided through the depository mechanism. So if that particular employee has left and his PAN has been deleted from the depository database, then the exchanges or even the depositories will not be tracking it. It will be offline only that one. So there are other conditions also, just to elaborate on that point. So there could be a case where, say, a designated person could be a foreigner without a PAN number or a, say, PAN exempt case and all that way. In such cases also, this particular mechanism won't work because the exchange mechanism at this juncture works only on the basis of PAN numbers. So if the PAN is available, then only this thing will work that way. So if the PAN is not there, it has to be taken the way it is currently being monitored that way.
But without PAN, you will not allot the shares to them.
No, so there are certain cases where this PAN exempt cases are there. Where
Like Sikkim, Mr. Sikkim.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Gopalji, you have any point?
Yeah,
in this?
just adding to that, while updating the PANs by the respective companies, we are receiving such a request where PANs are exempted. Okay, so in such cases, that particular company needs to provide us that particular directly demat account number where the PAN is exempted. So in that case, as per the demat account details, the account will get frozen at that particular demat account level. But this will be applicable only for PAN exempted cases.
Okay. Gopalji, you have any point on this?
No, Avishkar has covered it. Like, see, for the trading system, we require the PANs.
Okay.
And whatever files are provided by the depositories are required to provide this file on T-1 basis for application into the trading system on T day. So whatever PANs are covered in that, only those PANs are barred from trading. So if any person, in any case, in any exigencies, any designated person has to trade, then he has to approach his own company secretary who would then remove that PAN in the depository system, so that when the depository gives us a file on a T-1 basis, that PAN is dropped. And when it once again gets added by the depository through the designated depository, then we will get that file with the PAN added, and then that will be again barred from trading.
Okay. Now, this is also to the stock exchange. Avishkar, can any earlier trade settlement be debited or credited during the automatic freezing of PAN?
Right. So that part we have taken care in the way ESOPs. We have also say example, just to take an example, if 30th September, whatever trades and all they would have done, so that settlement and all will go through. So that care we have taken into consideration.
Gopalji, you stock exchange BSE is also doing the same way?
Yes.
Same. Yes.
Okay. So for NSDL and CDSL, how are shares received under transmission credited during the trading window closure period?
So currently that is not allowed in the depository system, the transmission cases.
Okay.
Currently the account is freeze, the transmission will not taken place in current situation.
Okay.
In future, we can have think about it to exempt how we are exempting the corporate action the process. Same way we can exempt the transmission also, but currently it is not available. So maybe in next phase we can take care of that thing also.
So here one more thing is we basically have, if you look at the way we have implemented also, we have gone in a very graded manner. Say we first tried with Nifty 50 companies, and there whatever scenarios we faced, like this ESOPs, settlement related derivatives, open positions and all, that got handled. Then now we have taken the next 1,000 companies, so that we are able to see if there are other scenarios at companies having lower market cap. And then by next April or so, we'll go for full blast. Once that is completed, and then we will look for other scenarios, because there are multiple scenarios which companies keep on talking about. But at this juncture, we have said that we will first try to look at the matured system and then only go in for other changes.
Okay. Moini, after the circular, is the compliance officer not required to initiate the trading window closure period to designated person?
No, I think he should be. Reason being, only the PAN of the designated persons get freezed, but there are other connected entities, right? Like the relatives are there, and any other HUFs and all are there. So their PANs are not auto being freezed. So compliance officer, I think he should send a mail or notify to the DPs about the trading window closure.
Okay. Ananya sir, the designated person concept is not because you are saying designated person, but you are not talking about the connected person in this circular. So how you will handle the connected person issue? Is it a part of this second phase, or it is not required?
No, this has not been considered now, but maybe in subsequent phases it can be covered. And secondly, the obligation on the compliance officer still remains. This mechanism is trying to ease out the compliance part, but where all these issues comes, the responsibility still remains with the compliance officer.
Okay. Avishkar, how the connected person you will manage in future? Because I have a 2% designated, I know, I have a list. But how to, and then there are connected person also, those who have the information. How I'll put connected person, because there's no window.
No, so at subsequent stage, whenever we decide, their depositories will provide that particularly, and the compliance officer will basically add this particular PANs to the depository system. But as I said, now we basically were we were very basically conservative when implementing it. Look at the data itself. When we implemented for 50 companies, the number of PANs are 29,500, which we are monitoring as of now. So once this 2,000 or 5,000 companies on BSE come, the number of PANs to be monitored itself at DP level will be a significant number. So once it gets matured and we are confident of moving ahead, then we will bring in other changes and all that one.
Okay. Gopalji, if a designated person is a second holder in the joint demat account, how is trading in the account is controlled?
See, as been explained, this is based on the PANs that are provided by the depositories, designated depository. Okay. So if the designated depository is providing the PAN of, see, the second holder, if he's a second holder or a first holder, it doesn't matter for trading system, as long as if there is a PAN in the file, that will get barred from trading.
Okay.
So here one more part,
Depositories will
in the
have-
sense in trading, there is only concept of one single holder that way. So there won't be this concept of
Correct.
to a joint account and all that.
Yeah, I just would like to add over here at depository level, as I explained, the whatever PANs has been given by the company, depository identifies the PAN at joint level also, and wherever this particular PAN is available in the joint account, that will also get freezed at depository level.
Okay. Okay. Can you elaborate? This is for stock exchange. Can you elaborate on the phased implementation timeline mentioned circular? What is the difference phase involved? I think this is this we have covered, so that's not required. Okay. So Ananya sir and Vijayan sir, how do these circular contribute to enhance market integrity and ease of doing business for listed company?
I think we have already covered this because this will bound to reduce the compliance cost as the cost gets decreased. And in addition to that, see, any kind of insider trading also affects the reputation of the company. So there's a reputational risk also involved in these cases. So this will reduce insider trading to a certain extent, and in addition the compliance cost is going to increase, so thereby it will help in easing out in the business.
Okay. Okay. So what are the potential consequences for listed entities in case they do not update the PAN number of designated person with the designated depository as per circular of system driven disclosure?
So as I said that anyway, the obligation on compliance officer still remains. Even if he doesn't do, he has to comply with the insider trading regulations. So obligation still remains.
Moini, what are the penalties which this particular thing is provided in the law?
But in the circular, they are saying that if you're not complying with the circular, as I mentioned earlier, the company can continue with the manual filing of Form C. So there is no, to the best of my understanding, I think there is no repercussion on the compliance officer itself. He says that I want to continue with this manual filing. So I'm not under obligation to provide the PAN of all designated persons here.
So in this system-driven disclosure also, when we implemented it, we have kept it open to the compliance officer. In the sense, if they want to come in this particular system, they can come. If they say that they don't want to join in and all, then they have to continue with the physical filings and all that way. So the compliance burden doesn't go away from him. He has to do it physically. It's his choice. At a later date, the regulators may think about bringing in some changes and all, but at this juncture, it is optional type of thing.
But
I think if he is avoiding or because of any reason, if he is not giving, I think he is increasing his job on
Right.
So if he provides the PAN, I think it's an automatic freezing one part, but the major part will be taken care of automatically. And he has to do the checking for the other connected persons and all, which in the later phase also it will be covered. But I think it's easy for them as well. So I think they should go.
So the systems now have become so strong that even if he doesn't come, that the exchanges and regulators will easily be able to capture this data, and also it's of no use basically to not coming to hide something and all that.
And this mechanism is brought in to ease the compliance burden on the compliance officer. So he has to understand, and if he's not moving now, over the time, he'll understand how much the burden gets reduced and he'll move into the system.
But how SEBI can't put the restriction because this is good for them. If somebody is doing manually, it will derail the system, because if you say everybody has to do, and this is a system which is helping them, it is not a better proposition than giving the choice to compliance officer.
See, these are the new systems. I think implementation should be in a gradual manner. Even in SDD, now after 2 years almost, we are not able to completely reach 100%. So it has to be in a gradual process, and I think initially we have to give an option to compliance officer.
Okay, Ananya sir, now people are putting name of the designated person, but they are not putting name of the relative. How will you handle this issue? And I will this after Anand, Mr. Das, then Avishkar and Gopalji can give answer.
See, I think Avishkar already covered this, and this has to be done in a gradual manner, because we are bringing in big change. So initially it is starting with designated person, and the second part, implementation would not be easy. Only designated person has to disclose the list of his relatives to the compliance officer, and that has to be entered in the SDD. So if implementation should not be a problem, only is it will be done in a gradual manner.
Avishkar, you have any point, and Gopalji, you have any point in this?
No, sir. Anand sir has covered.
So it means that first designated person, then relative of designated person, and then connected person.
Yes.
This is the gradual phase will go.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now we have queries from the system, which is live queries. If we have an option to change the trading window closure end date, then why are we not giving an option to change the start date? Our trading window closure start from 21st September. So Rakesh, you can give answer.
Currently, I think as everybody has explained, we have started with the financial closure. Okay, so where financial closure is starting from first for almost for all companies. Okay, so we are just initiated with that for a financial result. So in future maybe we can think about the further things also. Gradually.
So I'm giving you here one practical difficulty. Say think from the perspective of the broker. Say if I am a designated person and I am registered with a particular broker and I have a position in that particular my stock, it can be in cash or derivatives, and suddenly the company comes and says that okay, now I have started my trading closure period from 21st September. What happens to that particular open positions and all that way? Here, what basically, since we have an idea, clear idea that okay, these are the 29,000 pans, this is the date from which we will be starting the start date. So we know we have to settle this all 29,000. If each company comes out with its different dates and all, at the broker end also it will be difficult, and at the exchange depositories and also to handle all these different scenarios all will be a challenge. So to start with, we have said let it be the first date be common, and the closure date anyways it's up to the company. After 48 hours of its dissemination, it opens up that way. So there we don't have any challenge with the open positions and all, because anyways he has not traded during that period.
Also in the law, it has been mentioned that the trading window is to be closed from the end of the every quarter. So and for the corporate governance perspective, if you are closing it 2 days, 5 days prior to it, so that's the company's internal objective.
Okay. Okay. We have already appointed CDSL as designated depository back in 2020. Do we need to submit any intimation to stock exchange intimating our designated depository again?
No, there is no intimation. It's
No,
like
not
a free flow.
required. It will be automatically shared by depository to exchanges.
Okay. Will the pen be frozen during the special trading window period?
I think so. Special trading, he may be talking about a special pre-open session and all. So if he is a designated person and in that particular security, if there is a special pre-open session, then to his PAN will be frozen.
I think special, they are talking about that any other UPSI event other than trading window
So
closing.
then it is only
That
for
is-
financial results. We have not gone to that level.
So for that, the present physical process,
Yes.
how they be doing, they have to continue with.
But if that period clashes with the trading window closure for financial result, then it will be barred.
Okay. Acha, what about the companies who have trading window period commencing prior to quarter end?
Already answered, sir. It will, it's a physical, their choice, but through the system, it can be done only from the
Financial. Okay. Is the freezing of PAN applicable also to the immediate relative of the designated person? Answer is no. It is phased manner. First, they are starting with designated, then relative, then connected person. Does company need to provide PAN of only designated person, employee, or also the immediate relative, spouse of designated person PAN to NSDL, CDSL, designated depository for purpose of? I think this answer we have already given.
Everyone has the question for the designated person's relatives only. I think many of the questions are regarding this one.
Okay. How CDSL will come to know about closure of trading window? Whether any mechanism available to CDSL portal or update details of closure opening of trading window?
The trading window is provided by company itself to the depository. As we have shown the system, the system itself, the company needs to log in and provide the trading window closure period to both the depository. That information has to come from company, in short.
Okay. I think one person has given suggestion which may be useful. You can note down. Companies should have an option to change trading window start date. That is one suggestion. Companies should be given an option to insert fixed or financial result trading window closure at the form beginning of the year itself. At least there should be an option. There should be an option to set trading window closure for all UPSI and not just financial. I think this suggestion with SEBI is also agreeing, and they are saying it is a gradually phrased manner. It will automatically come. So all the answer of Hinal, it will cover in a phased manner. In case of foreign entity which does not hold PAN, should we make entry with the dummy PAN number?
No, sir. Currently, we require the actual PAN, because if they provide dummy PANs, no, it will not work, because we need to provide this PAN to the respective exchanges also. So where the dummy particular PAN will not be available with the exchanges, that freezing will not happen.
Okay.
So in case of any exemption is there, for the PAN, then they can just directly give us the demat account number. So the PAN is exempted, then the demat account number will be mandatory to provide to the depository. So based on that demat account number, the freezing will happen at that particular demat account level.
Okay.
Whereas wherever PAN is available, we are identifying the demat account number and we are freezing it. So in case of PAN exempted itself, we are directly getting the demat account number from the company and we are directly freezing it.
Okay. We need to amend our list of designated person by removing some of the names. While making the list initially, we include more than half of the organization's employee. Now it's create many problems. Please advise how can I remove the names of designated person for depositories site. So,
yeah, there is an option available anytime. They can just log into the system and they can delete the particular PANs which are not not in their list.
No, Rakesh, this is a technical part which you can do. But when you are putting somebody's name and then removing, then SEBI will ask why you have removed the name. So
there may be possibility that the particular designated person has left the organization. There may be different situations for removing it. Actually, it totally depends on the compliance office or the company. Whatever they want to add, delete, modify. But option is available in the system. They can just log into the system and they can do the modification or addition.
Okay, yeah, Avishkar, you were saying something?
No, sir.
Okay. And that person should not be a designated person for that UPSI event. Then in that case, his name can be removed.
Okay.
Yeah, but definitely, as I explained earlier, we are maintaining the logs also. Whatever has been added, deleted, modified, that log is maintained with us with the depository level. So in future, if anything is required, we can produce this.
But to have a stabilized law, is it not required that now SEBI has come out this? So everybody should put the designated person after discussing with the top management or those who are concerned with this. And then they should not move this way and that way again and again. So the first is whatever you have given designated person, that is there. But now when you are putting in the depository system, you should have a clear-cut list of people, those who really matter and those who are the designated person. Because again changing and making it logbook and doing this, it will be a cumbersome process to stock exchange as well as the SEBI for making any inspection and investigation relating things. Okay, so Moini, can you clarify the levied penalty in these two cases, whether by SEBI or by relevant company?
In which cases, sir?
Cases, so you have mentioned two cases.
So in the 2 lakh and 1 lakh, they have imposed the penalty for the trading window closure. So in the trading, SEBI has imposed the penalty for 2 lakh to 1 lakh.
Okay. Does company need to provide PAN of only designated person employee or also the? I think this has covered. How CDSL will come to know about closure of trending, whether this is also covered. In case of foreign entity, this is also covered. Okay. In violation, mostly it is seen that trading window trading violation happens at PMS or similar trading. Is it possible to insist on broker PMS to have a system to ask for names of shares where the client is considered as insider? Alternatively, there is a possibility to give an option to the demat account holder to freeze his or her PAN for trading in particular share through depository portal. Sir, I think this is for SEBI and to do this. Like PMS is there. Suppose I have a PMS account and I'm the designated person on so many companies because we are a consultant and we are giving information. So if I have a system where I can go myself and close and restrict through my PAN that this trading of this will not take place or PMS should not do trading on this script, will it not be helpful in future? Can you consider this? Giving this power.
We will take these suggestions and see how we can implement this.
Okay. Avishar and Gopalji, are you seeing any logic in this?
So now again, I'm just taking this only example in the sense for this PMS, there will be some broker who will be executing these trades. Now, informing the brokers about this particular set of PANs itself will be another challenge in the sense to tell him that these are this specific in a particular security, these are the list of PANs for which you should not be placing that order and all. So that at this juncture, at least it's a bit difficult, but it can be done because it's like only sharing of information to that particular broker who is placing this order on through a PMS and all that.
Okay. Okay. Sir, this question to Mr. Das and Mr. Vijayan, whether these guidelines pertaining to freezing of PAN of the DP are also applicable to debt listed security, not equity listed, or you will come out dot listed later on?
No, this is presently for equity listed security. So equity only, not for debt.
Okay. Technically, circular applicable to listed company. What about the listed REIT and InvITs? The insider trading regulation are applicable to them also, but whether the circular is applicable to listed REIT and InvIT also?
Right. So they basically are forming a part of the market capitalization file. So we have gone by the top 1,000. So if they are forming a part of top 1,000, when 30th September, it becomes applicable to them.
Okay. Okay. That is okay. Okay. Whether this circular, this is also debt listed, how to register for familiarization program for compliance officer that is being conducted by SEBI?
exchanges are conducting programs, and they can register whenever the exchange or depository is conducting. I think next program will be conducted on 30th of
30th.
month.
So basically what we had also done is when we sent this invitation on the first and second program, we have video recorded it and even have shared that link also to the listed entities, and also if they have missed that, they can refer to that document also.
And this program's video will also be available on YouTube, so you can see that also. Okay, as listed company need to update PAN of DP on system driven closure. Will the PAN in trading window closure tab will get auto fetch from the system driven disclosure window, or we need to separately add the same?
No, yes, as we already explained, it will be automatically available in the trading window closure tab.
Okay. Why, when in September 23, the system of NSDL CDSL will get updated, ready for the new companies, top 1000 added for the compliance of this circular?
So September 1st week is something what we are targeting. So by September 1st week, it will be available.
Okay. PAN of only promoter and designated person shall be entered, or insider and connected person PAN also need to be entered. This they have also mentioned. It is first you have to mention the designated person and promoter, then the other insider will also come. Can we change our designated person, designated depository during the year? Akshay and Rakesh.
Yes, there is an option available to the respective company. If they wish to change the designated depository, just they need to inform to the respective designated depository by a letter, okay, letter consent that we wish to change or we wish to directly appoint the designated depository. Then that rest thing will be taken care within a depository.
Okay, how
because
this
that
is,
company needs to inform those.
Okay, how this is different from the designated stock exchange, the concept of designated depository? Is there any, like we have a designated stock exchange concept, now the designated depository concept has come. So how is it same way, or this is just normal compliance point of view?
So it's basically from this compliance point of view. So currently we have multiple system driven disclosures. One is for say SHT, then PIT, now for this trading block. Then there are certain other things which are in the current pipeline where we are moving to system driven disclosure. To handle such things, what we have tried to do is say at the depository level, there is this concept of designated. So say a particular corporate decides that XYZ depository is my designated depository. So that data for that particular corporate will flow to others, in the sense to the other depository as well as exchanges through single source. So if anything has to be handled, it becomes easy. From that ease of doing business at our end also, that concept has been brought in that.
Okay. How to update the DP detail in CDSL, as currently no modification option is mentioned in CDSL?
Yeah, currently we have an option of deletion, okay, not modification. So just user needs to delete that particular PAN and they can just add it.
So first delete and then add it. Okay.
Yes.
But you will bring out modification.
Record. Yeah, delete the particular record and just they can just simply add that fresh record.
Okay, Akshit, NSDL has the same system, or you have modification system also?
So we have a modification system, so you can modify the end date.
Okay.
And deletion function is also there, but modification we have provided for amending the end date.
Okay. In 48 hours after closure of meeting is ending at 2 p.m. on 10th October, what should be filed in the end date of the trading window? Should it be 10th or 11th?
I think it's 48 hours after 48 hours after the conclusion of a meeting. So 2 days.
So currently, both of the depositories, we are working on the concept of days. We are not working on the concept of hours at the moment due to system restrictions. So whenever the compliance officer comes, they have to come and define the T+2 date, which according to them will be the unfreeze date for all the designated persons. So currently we are not doing it on our basis. Yeah.
So I think it's on 10th October. Then I think up to 12th of October, the trading is freezed, PAN is freezed, and from 13th October morning, they will be able to.
Okay.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay. So the DP are those person identified by companies who have the perpetual access of the UPSI. But the information in structured digital database is different. It has third party as well, like auditor, legal consultant, extra, with whom companies shares the UPSI as a legitimate business purpose. Question is whether those person entered in SDD, but not especially for DPs, need to enter their PAN. So I think the answer is same, that it is gradually it will come. When relative or DP are also covered within the ambit of PIT, I think this is also the same. Still, we are not able to see the trading window closer tab in NSDL under SDD when this tab will be available.
So this is September 1st week. So we are also issuing a relevant circular. Both the depositories will be issuing the circular for the same.
Okay. In case of shares are to be transferred to the employee in case of ESOP by trust suit, will the trust be tracked as a DP?
No, trust is not a DP, and trust PAN number is not to be entered in the system driven disclosure.
Okay. Do we need to inform the stock exchange and the depository participant whenever there is a change in the list of DPs uploaded? I think this is answering.
Yes.
Yeah. What if the particular promoter group person has denied to provide PAN or DMAT detail to company? How company can monitor trading by such person? So Adas sir, what is the solution for this? Because sometimes independent director and other people are refused.
But liability is there under PIT regulation for trades of insider if is having a UPSI.
Okay.
And trading restriction period, trade cannot happen. So he is liable under insider trading regulation if he violates that. So it's better to share the data.
Okay. Whether credit in DMAT will be allowed other than ESOP corporate action? Rakesh and Akshit?
Yes, sir. As we already informed, that corporation will be taken care automatically by the depository system. The trade will happen in the particular demand account. It will be done.
For top 1000 company, is the circular applicable from the quarter ended December? Since for the ending September, we are closing the window on 30th September. I think
this is applicable from 1st October. So the top 1000 will be as on 30th September, it will be applied.
Okay. Whether SEBI circular applies to debt listed is not. Whether these guidelines are there in this. If PAN is not available, then should we remove such person, entity from CDSL, issuer portal? This is so.
Yes.
Sir, what do you say?
So it's in two parts. One is if, say, example, the PAN is not available, but we know that he is holding or he has a DMAT account, then at least give it to the depositories, because basis that DP ID, DMAT ID, they will be blocking it. At trading end, they may not be able to do much because the PAN is not there, but at least at depository end, they will be able to block that particular account.
Gopal sir, what is your view on this?
No, Avishkar is covered. I mean, that.
Okay. Okay. A period of 2 days is very short to update detail of resident person. Can we expect a reasonable period of 30 days? Because results.
Sir, as we have already informed, the PAN details can be updated anytime during the, even not during the trading period also. In advance also, they can update the PAN. There is no restriction for updating PAN details. There is a restriction for updating the trading window closure period of 2 days. PAN to anyway, anytime they can just log in and they can just update the PANs.
So, Shri Joshi, you must have got the answer of this. Yeah,
To add in this, the system-driven disclosure circular says that immediately addition and deletion is to be updated. So you can't avoid that. If you're complying with that circular, you can't avoid that immediate word. So
Correct,
30 days
correct.
time, it's not the period. Immediate means immediate.
okay. Will depository participants send an intimation to DPs regarding their pen freezing upon the trading window closure?
Yes,
Yes,
from
the
depository
intimation
ends,
goes.
we send the intimation to the customers directly through message.
Okay. In case of circular closure of trading window for other UPSI, are we required to disclose the same to stock exchange also?
No, the trading window closure period is not to be informed to the stock exchange in case other than this results are there.
A company listed at CSC, it is mandatory for such company? Das sir,
Yes.
I think this is
Yes.
it's mandatory because it's a listed company and it's coming in that category, you have to follow.
But the PAN number, I think the PAN number is not being freezed for those companies which are listed exclusively on CSC because the circular is covering only up to the MSCI. The reason being, I think CSC is not being traded publicly and there is no impact on the public at large. So
Yes.
that is to be monitored as presently the compliance officers are monitoring it.
Moini, if 48 hours after the person is saying I'm not clear, if 48 hours after closure of meeting is ended at 2 p.m. on 10th October, what should be the file in the end date of the trading window? Should it be 10th or 11th? So he's saying I'm not clear that should be filed on 12th or 13th.
2 days, no? But the NSE is saying that we are not going by the time, we have to take the date. So 10th is our board meeting in which we are announcing. So up to 12th, you will mention the opening date and from 13th, the trading will start.
Okay. Out of the DP list, we have updated on NSDL portal. Every DP plan will get automatically freeze or we have option to select DPs to whom trading window will be applicable. Rakesh.
Yeah, in CDSL, all the PANs will be automatically available, but there is an option for users. They can select the respect to PAN or they will select all option also for all PANs. And according to the action, the information, the freezing will be taken place. But yes, there is an option available for the company to select the respect to PAN.
Okay. Akshat, you have any point in this?
Who is having the
Sir, I lost you in the middle. Can you just let me know again?
Out of the DP list, we have updated on NSDL portal. Every DP plan will get automatically freeze or will have the option to select DPs to whom trading window will be applicable.
So the data directly flows from the SDD to the trading window closure tab. So then they have to define the end date for all of the designated persons. So initially, yes, for all the persons whom it is applicable and they are mentioned in the SDD portal. So they have to be, they all will be freezed. Yeah, all of these accounts will be frozen.
Okay. Moini, the Sandeep is still not satisfied. If the board meeting is on 10th, trading window and date will be 12th or 13th. What to fill in the system?
Closure date 12th.
It should be 12th actually.
Okay. Internal auditor and start auditor will be considered DP. Yes, that is they are the DP, but not today for this purpose. If yes, then whether the team member of auditor, that is they are the connected person, not the they will come out later on. I think Sandeep, your question is given answer clearly. So these are the 45 question and 65 questions we have received, which we have discussed and we have given answer. So it's a time to close. So on behalf of all the participants and our behalf, I thanks Mr. Das sir for giving time and explaining all the points, the logic behind this, and Mr. Vijayan for giving answer of queries as well as explaining the concept. Thanks to Gopalji and Avishkar for giving prospect of the stock exchange and how the stock exchange will freeze the trading system and how they will coordinate with CDSL and NSDL. And then NSDL and CDSL is explain that how the system will work. And the entire thing is a technology driven. There is a phase manner that is clearly defined. So, sir, we have a system to just last 30 seconds. What message you want to give to the corporate world related to this? Over to you, Das sir, and then Vijayan sir, and then other. So, what you want to suggest?
So this is an attempt of SEBI to for the as well as the reduction of the compliance cost. So all the corporates should take initiative and update their names of the DPs so that their compliance burden comes down.
Okay.
Vijayan, you say anything?
Vijayan,
So
sir?
that, as Sejan sir has said that he has already covered the points, but still our ED is used to say that this is a facilitation exercise. Earlier it used to be done by manually, so we are facilitating this by automatically doing the disclosures and freezing the PAN. So that's what we expect that compliance officers to participate in this process.
Okay. Mr. Gopal sir?
Oh, this is very clearly a good initiative from SEBI side to ease the compliance burden of the compliance officers, especially with respect to trading by designated persons. So this will ease. I mean, in today's environment, you have this compliance cost increasing, compliance burden increasing. So this is one step in reducing that compliance burden on the company secretaries.
Okay. Avishkar?
In next few years, in the SEBI annual report, the instances of PIT getting lesser and lesser will be. Yeah. There are good stats in the SEBI annual report of 23 and all. So we hope that by 25 and all, it will reduce drastically through
we'll
this all efforts. Yes.
We will save the environment also by reducing pages. Huh?
Yes.
Okay. Rakesh?
Yeah, I'm from CDSL. This is a very good initiative actually by SEBI, and this will definitely reduce the burden of the compliance officer. And it's completely a system is very user friendly with both the depositories, and it's the system which is currently used by the companies. The same system is enhanced with the additional facilities with the trading window and PIT, and many more to go in the future. But the same system will be extended further. So it's a very user friendly system with both the depositories.
Okay, Akshat.
So when we started in September, so we were very raw and very crude. Now currently we are developing with each quarter, and we are listening to the requirements of all the issuers as to what needs to be done and what improvements we can do. We are also taking care of the suggestions that are there. We are discussing it internally and across the exchanges and MIIs and depository. And accordingly, we will make it a smooth sailing process for all the companies that will come in 2024.
Mohini?
There are many things to be done by the company's compliance officer and the management. So if the authority is coming forward to help in compliance through an automated system, it's a welcome step, and every person has to support these things.
Okay, so thank you everyone, all the panelists. The most interesting part of this type of webinar is that changing the facet of the regulator. Because previously regulator was always that whatever I have said, it is a final thing. But here the regulator role is changing, and they are coming and telling that what is the logic, why we have come out, and if you have any query, you please discuss so the problem can be solved. It's a new India. It's a Atmanirbhar India. I think that is a change, and that change we are seeing, and it will be definitely helpful, because today various questions people are asking, they are confused. So that will be clarity. And what we will do on Das sir, we will compile all the questions and send it to you. So in case there is a regulatory issue, and we will share to all the panelists relevant questions related to CDSL or NSDL and stock exchange, you can use. So thank you very much. Thank you. And friends, this journey of sharing knowledge will continue. Our next webinar is on Friday, 1st September, 4 to 6. And the very interestingly, I'm informing you, then on 30th August, we are completing 10th year of Companies Act, because Companies Act came in August 30th, 2013. So on 1st September, we are celebrating the 10th year of Companies Act, and our topic is a decade of Companies Act. And we want to discuss this, and the topic, the Companies Act 2013, a decade of transformation. So on Friday, we will discuss, because that is the first Friday, and we discuss the updation. So along with this, we will focus on this part. So thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us for this part program. Thank you.
Thanks.